ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి, జేఈఈ అయినా, నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.
Welcome to all. In previous classes, we have already discussed about the important features of modern periodic table and the classification of the elements into blocks. Here the classification of elements of the blocks depends upon the electronic configuration, and same time modern periodic table is also constructed on the electronic configuration as well as atomic numbers. But here there is an important note. What is that? Modern periodic table depends upon or constructed on the basis of electronic configurations, and same time there is an important observation in the modern periodic table. What is that? Periodicity. The properties of the elements are repeated at regular or certain regular intervals. The properties of the elements are repeated at certain regular intervals. Here the reason for the periodicity is outermost electronic configuration. And same time, based on the electronic configuration, the two particularly based on the valential configuration or electronic configuration of the outermost orbit, here the properties are influenced. Means here the properties that may be particularly chemical properties. Here the chemical properties are dependent of the valential configuration. Here the electronic configuration is responsible for the periodicity and is responsible for the chemical properties. Here chemical properties means chemical behavior or behavior of the elements. So once again the elements in the modern periodic table are once again classified into four types or different types, and here based on the chemical behavior the elements present in the modern periodic table are classified into four types. What are the four types of the elements? Here the first one, inert gases. Second one, representative elements. Third one, transition elements. And the fourth one, inner transition elements. Based on the electronic configuration as well as based on the chemical behavior of the elements, the elements present in the modern periodic table or long form periodic table are divided into four types. What are the four different types of elements that are observed in the modern periodic table? Inert gases, representative elements, transition elements, and inner transition elements. But here now the discussion related to all the four types of elements is very similar or is very closer to that of the previous one, that is the classification of elements into blocks. Very closer, very similar. How? That we have to discuss. First one, inert gas elements. Or inert gases, whatever it may be say. inert gases. What about the important features of inert gases or inert gas elements? Here the first one, the elements in which the outermost s and p orbitals are completely filled. The elements in which the outermost s and p orbitals are completely filled are known as inert gas elements or noble gases. Here the general outermost electronic configuration of inert gases is NS2 NP6 except helium. Here the helium atomic number is equal to 2, that is electronic configuration is 1s2. And here this 2 electronic configuration is also known as doublet configuration. Doublet configuration or duplet configuration. The only inert gas element that differ in the general electronic configuration is helium. Its atomic number equal to 2. And its electronic configuration 1s2, that is known as doublet configuration. And here this is about the outermost electronic configuration. How many electrons are there? 8 electrons in the valence shell. That 8 electronic configuration is also known as octet configuration. And that is stable electronic configuration. Stable electronic configuration or octet configuration or 8 electronic configuration, and that is also commonly known as inert gas configuration. And here inert gases general electronic configuration is this one, but the other important features are total number of elements present in the valence shell equal to 8, that is known as octet configuration, that is also known as stable configuration. And here inert gases are chemically inert. Why? What is the reason for that? Octet configuration. Due to octet configuration, they are chemically inert, as well as they are less reactive. They do not react with any other elements. Under special conditions only they combine with or react with some particular elements like oxygen and fluorine. That too, only krypton and xenon react with oxygen and fluorine, resulting in the formation of compounds. So, here inert gases are less reactive, and as a result of that, they are also known as noble gases. They are present in the 18th vertical row of the periodic table. So, they are also known as 18th group, and they are also known as 8th A group. And here they occupy 1% by volume in the atmospheric air. So they are also known as rare gases. In olden days, the noble gases or inert gases are believed to be born in air. So they are also known as aerogens. Inert gases are chemically inert and less reactive. What is the reason for that? Octet configuration, 8 electronic configuration or stable configuration. As a result of that inertness, they are also known as noble gases, and they are also known as 18th group. Why? They are present in the 18th vertical row of the long form periodic table. They are also known as 8th A group elements, and they occupy 1% by volume in the atmospheric air, and they are also known as rare gases. But in olden days, they are believed to be born in air, so they are known as aerogens. Aerogens. And all noble gases are non-metals. They are existed in the form of monoatomic gaseous elements, and their Cp by Cv ratio equal to 1.33 means they are monoatomic in nature. And next one, they are all existed in the form of gases. They are all non-metals. Their electronegativity or electropositivity or electron affinity is equal to 0. Generally it is believed that the electronegativity or electropositivity or electron affinity of the noble gases is considered to be 0. So, they are also known as zero group elements. They are present at extremely right side of the periodic table. Extremely right side of periodic table. They are less reactive and they are more stable, and they have high ionization potential values in their respective periods. Among noble gases, only krypton and xenon react with the elements like oxygen and fluorine. Under selected conditions only krypton and xenon react with the elements like oxygen and fluorine and resulting the formation of compounds. They are highly stable. They have high IP values. They are present at extremely right side of periodic table. Their electronegativity, electropositivity, electron affinity are considered to be 0. So they are known as zero group elements. All noble gases are existed in the form of gases. Their Cp by Cv ratio is equal to 1.33. They are all monoatomic gases. They are all non-metals. And the general oxidation state of noble gases or inert gas elements equal to 0. But in the compounds they exhibit the oxidation state +2, +4, +6 and +8. Example for the compound with the oxidation state +2 is XeF2. +4 is XeF4. +6 is XeF6. +8 is XeO4. These are all examples to the compounds in which one of the noble gas exhibit a different oxidation state. But in the elemental state, the oxidation state of the zero group elements or noble gases or inert gases is equal to 0. Electronegativity 0. Electropositivity 0. Electron affinity 0. They are known as zero group elements. Right. But what about the zero group elements? Helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and radon. Helium atomic number 2, neon 10, argon 18, krypton 36, xenon 54, radon 86. Helium electronic configuration 1s2. Neon electronic configuration helium 2s2 2p6. Argon electronic configuration neon 3s2 3p6. Krypton electronic configuration argon 3d10 4s2 4p6. And this is krypton 4d10 5s2 5p6, and this is xenon 4f14 5d10 6s2 6p6. This is about the atomic numbers and also electronic configurations. If you are observing the outermost electronic configuration except helium, in all the remaining cases there are 8 electrons present in the valence shell, which is represented as octet configuration. And there is an important note. The only radioactive element in the inert gases is radon. Generally, radon is used in the treatment of the cancer because that is radioactive. So that is used in the radiotherapy, nothing but treatment of cancer. This is about the inert gases. This is about the inert gases. Next one, representative elements. Representative elements. Representative elements. We can define the representative elements in two different ways. What are they? First one, except noble gases. What is that? Except noble gases, except zero group elements, except inert gases, the remaining all S and P block elements are representative elements. Except noble gases, the remaining all S and P block elements are known as representative elements. This is about one type of definition. But technically, the representative elements can be defined in another way. What is that? Now you have to recall the definition for the inert gases. What is that? The elements in which the outermost S and P orbitals are completely filled are known as inert gas elements or noble gases or zero group elements. But here there is a slight difference. What is that? The elements in which the outermost orbit, which is represented by the letter small n, the elements in which the outermost orbit is incompletely filled, that may be S orbital, that may be P orbital, whatever it may be, that should be outermost. The elements in which the outermost orbit is incompletely filled are known as representative elements. Here, nth orbit is incompletely filled. Such elements are known as representative elements. And here, general electronic configuration is NS122, NP125. What is the sense of this? Here, first A, second A, third A, fourth A, fifth A, sixth A, seventh A groups. These are all collectively come under representative elements. Means, except zero group, the remaining all S and P block elements are known as representative elements. Are first and second, and from 13th to 17th vertical rows are collectively come under representative elements. And next one, here first A group elements, alkali metals. Second A group elements, alkaline earths. And third A group elements, boron family. Fourth A group elements, carbon family. Fifth A group elements, nitrogen family. Sixth A group elements, oxygen family. Seventh A group elements, halogens. Seventh A group elements, halogens. These are all the elements that are collectively present in the type that is nothing but representative elements. So, the general electronic configuration of representative elements is NS122, NP125. And same time, the oxidation states varies from -3 to +7. -3 to +7. Right? But what about the important features of representative elements? Here, representative elements includes metals, non-metals, metalloids, and also radioactive elements. It includes metals, non-metals, metalloids, and also radioactive elements. And same time, they exhibit a high reactivity. That may be S block elements, highly reactive metals, and P block elements, highly reactive non-metals. So here, representative elements are reactive. They are distributed on the both sides of the long form periodic table. Both sides of the periodic table. This is about the important features. And same time, the representative elements forming both ionic and also covalent compounds. Ionic and also covalent compounds. These are the important features of representative elements. That is from 1st A to 7th A, excluding D block elements. Here the third one is the transition elements. The discussion related to the transition elements is almost all same as that of the discussion related to the D block elements. But here the only difference is definition. And how can you define D block elements? The elements in which the differentiating electron goes into D subshell are known as D block elements. But here the definition for the transition elements is slightly varies. How can you explain? Look at here. The elements in which the outermost and also the penultimate shells are incompletely filled. Outermost and penultimate shells are incompletely filled are known as transition elements. Outermost and also penultimate shells, both are incompletely filled. Such type of elements are known as transition elements. Generally, transition elements are also known as D block elements. And the general electronic configuration of D block elements is NS122, N-1D, 1 to 10. But what about the electronic configuration, general electronic configuration of transition elements? What about the general electronic configuration? Mind this point, very important. General electronic configuration of transition elements is NS122, N-1D, 1 to 9. This is the electronic configuration of transition elements. This is the electronic configuration of D block elements. This is the electronic configuration of transition elements. There is a slight difference between the two electronic configurations. And here, transition elements are generally represented as D block elements, but all D block elements are not represented as transition elements. How can you explain? Look at here. Transition elements or D block elements are present in between the S and P blocks in the long form periodic table. This is the D, nothing but transition elements. They are present between the S and P blocks in the long form periodic table. And here, D block elements are from 3rd B, 4th B, 5th B, 6th B, 7th B, eighth B, first B, second B. Scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper and zinc. And this is scandium group. Scandium, yttrium, lanthanum, actinium. This is fourth B group, titanium group. Yttrium, zirconium, niobium, molybdenum, technetium. Here fourth group elements, hafnium and this is rutherfordium. Vanadium, niobium, hafnium, tantalum, tungsten, rhenium, osmium, iridium, platinum, aurum and mercury. This is cadmium, silver, ruthenium, rhodium, palladium. This is 112. This is 111. Annubium, anium. Rutherfordium 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110. Here the electronic configuration of third B group elements, scandium, argon 4s2 3d1. Okay, and finally the electronic configuration of zinc is argon 4s2 3d10. Here the d orbitals being filled in the transition elements as well as d block elements. From third B to second B group elements are collectively come under D block. Their general electronic configuration is ns122 n-1d 1 to 10. But here what about the transition elements? The elements from third B to first B groups are known as transition elements. What about the electronic configuration of copper? Argon 4s1 3d10. Argon 4s1 3d10. Actually, in most of the textbooks, here the both are represented in the same way, ns122 n-1d 1 to 10. No problem. But here that is also represented in some textbooks as ns122 n-1d 1 to 9. And here this is about the relation or difference between the D block elements and transition elements. All transition elements are D block elements, but all D block elements are not transition elements. From third B to second B groups are known as D block elements. From third B to first B groups are known as transition elements. Means here zinc group represented as only D block but not transition elements. What are they? Zinc, cadmium, mercury and the element with atomic number 112, that is niobium. Based on the electronic configuration, here the transition elements are once again divided into 4 types. What are they? First, transition series. Second, transition series. Third, transition series. Fourth, transition series. First transition series begins at scandium, ends with copper. Second transition series begins with yttrium, ends with silver. Third transition series begins with lanthanum, ends with aurum. Fourth transition series begins with actinium, ends with anium 111. This is about the details that are related to the transition elements. And here in D block elements or among transition elements, the first B group elements are, what is the meaning of that? Copper group. Copper group. What are they? Copper, silver and arum. They are known as typical transition elements. They are known as typical transition elements. Typical transition elements. First B group elements are known as typical transition elements. Second B group or zinc group elements are represented as only D block elements but not transition elements. And there is an important note. 8th, 9th and 10th vertical rows are collectively represented as 8th B group. And here they are also represented as iron group and also cobalt group and also nickel group. Iron group, cobalt group, nickel group. What about the iron group elements? Iron, ruthenium and osmium. Cobalt group, cobalt, rhodium and iridium. And nickel group, nickel, palladium and platinum. Palladium and platinum. This is about the discussion related to transition elements. How can you define transition elements? The elements in which the outermost and penultimate shells are incompletely filled are known as transition elements. In transition elements and also D block elements, here the D subshells. Which D subshells? The n-1D subshell or the D subshell present in the penultimate shells being filled. And here all D block elements are distributed from third B to second B. And here all transition elements are D block elements, but all D block elements are not transition elements. Example, zinc group is represented as only D block but not transition elements. First B group elements are known as typical transition elements. And 8th, 9th and 10th are iron, cobalt, nickel group elements are collectively represented as 8th B group elements. Okay. But here in transition elements, due to incompletely filled outermost and penultimate shells, they exhibit some peculiar or special properties. What are the special properties that are shown by transition elements? We have already discussed. Simply, you can recall once again. During the discussion related to the D block, we have already discussed. Now you can recall the important characteristics or important properties or special properties of transition elements. Among transition elements, due to incompletely filled outermost and penultimate shells, they exhibit some special properties. And what are the special properties that are shown by transition elements? Here the first one, all the transition elements are metals. All the transition elements are metals. And they are existed in the solid state. And they are good conductors of heat and electricity. They possess metallic luster. They have high melting points and boiling points. These are the general features of both the transition elements or D block elements. But here, what are the special properties that are shown by transition elements? Most of the transition elements exhibit paramagnetic property or paramagnetism. What is the reason for the paramagnetism? The reason for the paramagnetism is availability of unpaired electrons. And next one, they form alloys. What are the examples for the alloys? Brass, bronze, German silver, gunmetal, bell metal, solder. These are all the different types of the alloy that are formed by the transition metals or transition elements. And they form complexes. They form complexes. What is the specialty of the complexes? Here, in modern periodic table, transition elements are present in between the S block and also P block. They represent a gradual change in the nature of elements from electropositive elements to electronegative elements. And they represent a gradual change in the nature of the compounds also. And here the compounds that are formed by the S block elements are ionic in nature, whereas in case of P block, covalent in nature. As we move from left to right in a period, the nature of the compounds that are formed by the elements varies from ionic to covalent. That variation is represented by the transition elements. Here, what is the meaning of transition? Change. The elements which carries the change are nothing but transition elements. And here, the specialty of the complexes are they are having both ionic nature and also covalent nature. They have both ionic nature and also covalent nature. Such compounds are generally referred as complexes. Here, transition elements are forming complexes. And here examples are potassium ferrocyanide, and hexaamine cobalt 3 chloride. These are all examples to the complexes. And in the same way, what about the examples to the alloys? Already I have mentioned brass, bronze, German silver, bell metal and gunmetal, etc. And next one, here the transition elements and their compounds. Transition elements and their compounds exhibit catalytic activity. Take for example, let us consider oils. When the oils are subjected to the hydrogenation, they are converted into dalda, that is nothing but vanaspati, margarine. And here oil is in the liquid state, but the dalda is in the solid state. And this is unsaturated oil, this is saturated dalda. And the unsaturated oils can be converted into dalda by the hydrogenation. Here, the catalyst used is Raney nickel. And in the same way, Haber's process. In Haber's process, nitrogen gas, when treated with hydrogen gas by means of iron metal with molybdenum, converted into ammonia gas. And in contact process, sulfur dioxide, when treated with oxygen, resulting the formation of sulfur trioxide. Here, this is Haber's process. What is the catalyst used in Haber process? Iron powder with molybdenum. And this is contact process, nothing but the preparation of sulfuric acid. Here, what are the raw materials used? Sulfur dioxide and air or oxygen gas. And what about the catalyst used? Vanadium pentoxide. In all these examples or in all these cases, the catalysts that are used are nothing but transition elements and their compounds. And there is another important property, that is transition elements or metals are forming colored ions. And here, how can you explain this? Example. Let us consider copper sulfate. Which copper sulfate? Anhydrous copper sulfate means solid, without water. then that is appeared in the white color. White color. When this copper sulfate is added with the water, that resulting the formation of or causes to the formation of aqueous solution of copper sulfate solution. Now the copper sulfate solution is appeared with the blue color. Appeared with the blue color. And here what is the reason for the formation of the color by the transition metal ion in the aqueous solution? Due to availability of unpaired electrons in n-1d orbitals. n-1d orbitals. And finally, they forming interstitial compounds. Interstitial compounds. What are interstitial compounds? Interstitial compounds are also known as non-stoichiometric compounds. Non-stoichiometric compounds. What is the sense of the non-stoichiometric compounds? And they are not balanced in the stoichiometric equation. It is not possible. And here they are also represented as the interstitial compounds. Here examples are titanium carbide, hydrogen with palladium metal, hydrogen with platinum metal, hydrogen with nickel metal, and next one palladium carbide. These are all the different types of the interstitial compounds. And here interstitial compounds are used as catalyst in industries. Catalyst in industries. This is about the important features or special properties that are shown by the transition elements. What are they? They exhibit paramagnetism and they form alloys, they form complexes and they exhibit catalytic activity, they form colored ions and they form interstitial compounds. This is about the transition elements and their special properties. And then next we have to discuss about the inner transition elements. Two horizontal rows at the bottom of the long form periodic table. And here, based on the electronic configuration, they are also represented as 4F series, nothing but lanthanides. Second one, 5F series, nothing but actinides. And here lanthanides begins with cerium 58, ends with lutetium 71. Actinide begins with thorium 90, ends with lawrencium 103. Here, inner transition elements or A-block elements are arranged in two horizontal rows at the bottom of the main body of periodic table. And here, this is about the inner transition elements or A-block. Here, the lanthanide elements are also known as rare earths. They are also known as lanthanodes. And actinides are man-made elements. They are also known as synthetic elements. They are radioactive in nature. And same time you have already familiar with the transuranic elements also. Here the most of the actinides are not occur in the nature. They are not occur in the nature. They are obtained during the radioactive disintegration of uranium. So the elements beyond atomic number 92 are known as transuranic elements. The total number of inner transition elements equal to 28. Here there are 14 lanthanides and 14 actinides, totally 28. And the general oxidation state of inner transition elements equal to +3. Here the maximum oxidation state that is shown by the inner transition elements is up to +7. Up to +7. Right. Due to incompletely filled outermost and penultimate shells, transition elements exhibit some peculiar or special properties. But here The three outermost orbits are incompletely filled. So, they represent, they carry a gradual change in the nature of transition elements are also transition elements. As a result of that, they are represented as inner transition elements. And due to incompletely filled three outermost orbits, they exhibit some special properties. What are they? First one, same as that of web block elements. First one, they are all metals. They are all metals. And they have high densities. They form alloys. They exhibit catalytic activity. They form colored ions. They are paramagnetic. They form complexes. Same as the top, almost all similar to the top. D block elements are transition elements. What are they? All the inner transition elements or F block elements are metals. They have high melting points and boiling points. They have high densities. They form alloys. They exhibit catalytic activity. Generally, the compounds of inner transition elements or the compounds of the lanthanides are used in the petroleum industry and used in the making of the bullets, bullet shells. And next one, they exhibit catalytic activity. They form colored ions, and most of the inner transition elements are paramagnetic in nature and they form complexes. This is about the information related to inner transition elements. What about the general oxidation state? +3. What is the general oxidation state of transition elements? +2. What is the general electronic configuration of F block elements or inner transition elements? NS2, N-1D 0,1, N-2F 1 to 14. And total number of lanthanides 14. Total number of actinides 14. Lanthanides begins with cerium, ends with lutetium. Actinide begins with thorium, ends with lawrencium. And this is about the discussion related to inner transition elements. But here there is an important note. What is that? Up to now we came across the classification of elements. That may be Dobereiner classification, that may be Newland's classification, Lothar-Meyer classification, Mendeleev's classification, modern periodic table, okay, and then classification of elements into blocks or classification of elements on the basis of electronic configuration, and the last one is the classification of the elements on the basis of their chemical behavior. This is about the information related to the classification of elements. And here, throughout the discussion, objective point of view, whatever the point that is frequently repeated, frequently mentioned by the teacher, they are very, very important in the objective exams. And here, now I will give the assignment to you. And we have already distributed the manuals to you, chemistry manuals, study materials, objective study materials related to JEE Mains and others. In the manuals, in periodic table, this is the second chapter. This is the second chapter. In this second chapter, I will give the assignment in module 1 from bit number 1 to 34. What about the assignment for the next class? Chapter periodic table, that is second chapter, module 1 from bit number 1 to 34. And do you have any doubts? You can call me on 9440176505. You can contact me directly in this number related to any doubt in the assignment. Right.